Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Kieran, and this is Fox Off RPG. So today we're doing another one of these videos I really like. They're very simple, they're easy to do, but I think they're lots of fun. Basically going to be looking at a bunch of books I have here that I got recently. Most of these have come in actually today. This is not all the ones that came today, or all the ones I have recently. And the one on top here we're having a look at probably, I don't know, it might be first or last. But this came during the week. And I'm very excited for it. I'm pretty much excited for all this stuff anyway. But we're also going to cover some news, like stuff that's coming up in the next few days or the next week or so on the channel. Also going to cover what's going on in terms of Gods of the North. So, first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at these books. I'm going to show them off. Then I'll do a little bit of news. And then we will actually open them up and go through them. Again, these videos, these books here, these are not reviews. These are just looking at the books themselves. Some of them I have reviewed before, and these are just the hard copies coming, and some of them I haven't even read yet. So it's gonna be first look. So let's have a look at what's in the pile. So the first one still has a cellophane wrap on it. It's called Morkin, the Lords of the Midnight. It's a solo adventure game. Now, I've been looking forward to this one for quite some time. I backed this on Kickstarter. This is a premium copy. It's not print on demand. I also do have the print on demand codes for a softback and a hardback, I believe. I haven't actually looked at them, but we'll have a look at this now in a little bit. I'm very excited. Not only that, but also was this cool little map handout. Now, this is awesome. It is the world of where this is taking place. Don't worry, we'll go over it a little bit when we do sort of unwrapping and talk about the premise of the game and how it's going to work. But it is a sort of OSR type game, and it is designed for solo play, which is cool. Also, the creator put this in with it. I'm not sure if everyone got one of these or not. The Kickstarter was done really, really well. I think it done over €25,000 or close to that. The creator was very happy, and he wasn't expecting so much. So this one says, "Thanks so much, Kieran. I really love. I really hope you'll engage. You'll enjoy the game, Juan." So yeah, so I'll say it again because that's me being stupid. Thanks so much, Kieran. I really hope you'll enjoy the game, Juan. Yeah, I'm going to pretend no one else got one of these, and I'm just super special. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, next one. Again, we'll be looking at all these in more detail very shortly. But, we're going to have a little flip through and talk about some of the stuff in there. This one is ShadowCity, Blood and Neon. This is by our friend Chubby Funster. We just done the interview with him there the other week. A few weeks ago, before the Kickstarter ended. I went live a day or two before it ended. This one is going to be really fun to go through. I have barely looked at the PDF of it. I just haven't had time. But the book in this came out really well. I was looking at this earlier, having just a quick flip through. Everything seems to be fine. All the pages are good. They feel good. Everything's turning well. There's no nothing glued, stuck together as far as I could see. But we'll go over this now in a little bit. What also came is the hard copy of Oblivion. Now, as you can see, it's not spelled Oblivion like in the Elder Scrolls, but I have done a review on this already. So if you guys want to check that out, you can. I'll leave a link in the description as well, of course, like I always do, where you can find all this stuff. And of course, I'm leaving the link for the actual video review I have of this. I also posted the review on the DriveThru page for this, and I done a little quick review, and I also posted my video link. So this again was brilliant. I had a lot of fun playing this. It really, like I said in my review, it really embodied the feel of the game of Oblivion, the Elder Scrolls. And the one thing I loved was the archways, the gateways. So good. And it really, it doesn't give like a layout of how they should be, but it gives a mapping and descriptions of how they can and could be, and that's more than enough to come up with your own cool stuff, you know. And I would suggest, if you haven't played Oblivion, do. It's great, and it will also help you understand how to play this as well. It has everything: random encounters, hex crawl stuff, hex map, locations, where they take place on the hex map. Yeah, everything. A bunch of gods in here as well. Lots of information. There we go. The daemon gates and the gate generator. D20 table. It's all in here, and it is awesome. Again, check out the review. I cover everything in that review. I think it came out really well, and the video done really well on the channel, so that's awesome. But yeah, I will obviously link where you can find that. So yeah, check it out. The next one that I already done a review on is Shadows of Camelot. Now this is the hardback copy, that obviously from DriveThru as well. These 3 books here are also from DriveThru. So these are the 2 books from DriveThru. Just came today, actually, not yesterday, today. So this is Shadows of Camelot. Now this is by our friend Runeforge Tabletop Gaming. Again, already have a review. You can check it out. And this is the copy of it. I like to have hard copies of everything, and again, I like it, so that's why I have a hard copy. It's why I even reviewed it. You know, so I do not. If I like something, I'm talking about it on the channel, or I'm looking at it. You know, all that stuff. And myself and Adrian and Bill from Crawl Club also got special thanks in this, so that's pretty amazing. So thank you, William. William runs Runeforge Tabletop Gaming, and yeah, this is just basically what we looked at in review. You know, it talks about the different locations from the hex map here. So you have this area, sort of like a beginning area. Top end is for high level play, and this is sort of like mid level play. So 1 to 4 here, maybe 5 to 7 ish here, and then 8 and above here, ish, around that. And in this book, it does give basically a bunch of locations, and towards the end, it does have a mission. It's a single mission you can do. You go on, and then it gives you ideas on what to follow up on. And it's basically sort of adventure hooks, and you know, they are more than enough to come up with some great stuff in here. And this is as a whole setting, so this is meant to go from like 1 to 10, or as more if you want. Like some great new creatures and monsters, enemies, gear, equipment. Again, I love this piece of artwork, the Green Knight. But yeah, have a little better look at that now in a while. So yeah, before we start basically unboxing this and flipping through it and flipping through the other books a bit more, I'm going to talk about some stuff come up in the channel. So this video is going to go up on, I think it's this Friday. So on Thursday, which would have been yesterday for you guys, I put up another review. It's actually a double review. One of them is for a funnel for Shadowdark, and the other is basically a 1-page dungeon also for Shadowdark. So if you guys check it out, if you haven't, it's be absolutely brilliant. They're really great stuff, I think. Like, I'm really enjoying one-shots and particularly 1-page dungeons lately. I think they're particularly very good, and it's just easy to plug into your games. And in my own personal game, which I kind of have been neglecting in my solo play because I'm doing so much stuff on the channel, and last while I haven't been able to do too much. You know, stuff going on. Some of you know about it, don't need to worry about it. It's not a big deal for you guys. But yeah, so that came out on Thursday. Obviously, when this came out, it's Friday. Saturday, I will have my interview with Stephen Schultz of Troll Lord Games. I'm so happy. I was trying to get that interview for a while. We talked for a little over an hour. There's only one problem with the interview, and that is maybe the first 12-13 minutes. The internet wasn't great, and it was a little off. You can still hear everything fine, but it's a little off. But after that, it smooths out and it's fine for the rest of the video. So if you can, try and bear through those first 12-13 minutes. again, you can hear everything that's being said by both of us. It's just currently my internet at the moment is not the best, so the connection for some reason has not been good. The last actually 2 weeks in particular, the internet has been pretty bad, so that's kind of, yeah, not great. It's been patchy, so that's a little bit annoying. But it was a great interview. We both had a good time. We talked a little bit after. Stephen is a great guy. Amazing company. I also will have a review at some stage of some third party content in the coming weeks. It would have actually been out by now, but again, stuff, but that doesn't matter. Also, then I think on Saturday I'm going to have, what is it? God's Forbidden North video. Dun dun dun. Then on Sunday I'll have the second part of my interview / talk with DM Blackwell of Blackwell Games, coming out with Horde Wars, and coming out next year with Dropship. Now, the second part of the video is going to be a continuation of more like general talk, not really RPG stuff related really, but it was fun. It's really interesting. He's a great guy. Me and him, we've talked a couple times off camera. Some of it was on game stuff, and we did talk a little more about history as well. Like the first time I interviewed him, like after we talked for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So like, you know, I think we're both easygoing guys. We don't mind talking about anything and everything. So he's a great guy. I really like him. He's awesome. So I think again you can support those guys. Get Horde Wars and Horde Wars Advanced. Yeah. But relating to my God's Forbidden North game, so there's something I'm going to bring up. So that'll be coming out, and it's going to be awesome. So from after this next game, no matter what way it turns out, I'm not going to say how it went because, you know, it kind of ruins the game. No matter what way it went, we're actually going to be changing the system we're using. And it might sound, oh my god, it's so dramatic. Well, it's not. We're going to be using my current probably favorite or second favorite game, besides Shadowdark. I'm not sure. They're different games, but they are similar in the sense they're both amazing. But they're different. So this one is Barrows Borderlands. You guys know I have covered this quite a bit. 4 or 5 videos up on it already. I interviewed a creator, Matthew Tapp. He's a friend of mine. We've actually become quite good friends. We talk all the time. We hang out. We play games together on his Discord channels. He's a great guy. I love him. He's a young guy as well. He's only 26 now. So I will be playing God's Forbidden North with Barrows and Borderlands, simply because I much prefer Barrows and Borderlands than OSC. OSC, there's a lot of holes. And for me, when I'm doing the recordings of solo stuff, playing solo, I can play solo all day, no problem. But when it comes to recording, I get a little worked up. I get a little nervous, which I think is normal. And I then will say things I don't mean, or I get mixed up because I'm overthinking everything. And that happens sometimes, especially lately. Like in the video I posted yesterday, the Shadowdark stuff, the review of those 2 products, I was a little sketchy with how I was speaking. I was doing that thing way more than usual. It's just because I haven't been doing a lot of video stuff the last few weeks. I'm getting a bit rusty. So I'm trying to get my way back into things. I was not easing into it because like this week I think it's going to be 4 or 5 videos up, so it's not easing into it. So yeah, I'll be using Barrows and Borderlands. I just prefer the game. There's more answers to stuff in this, and I don't have to go searching as much. But a couple of reasons why as well. The combat system is I like it. There's similar combat systems. It's both AC, so the ACs are both going to be going the same way. They're both down. So lower is better. That's it. There we go. Words are hard sometimes. So lower is better for AC. That's fine. But yeah, this is just fun. More fun. The magic system is more fun. It's more chaotic. So now let's talk about magic for a second. So in this, you have a chart for your magic. So you're going to roll 2d6, and you have to try and hit a certain number depending on your spell level and your level. Okay. So it's going to be different. So if you're like a level 10 character or level 5 character or even a level 2 character, you trying to cast a level 1 spell, it's so much easier than casting a level 3, 4 spell or whatever, okay? There is also a chance for it to instantly go off. So I say I'm going to cast Magic Missile. I'm a level 1 character. Okay, I roll an 8 on the 2d6. An 8 means it instantly casts. If I roll a 7, it is then delayed, so it's going to be normal OSE magic casting sort of stuff with that. But if I roll, I think it's a 3 or 4, top of the head, I can't remember, for level 1. This is all level 1 stuff. You will then have a miscast, and you'll have a possibility of being instantly killed, or just have some other stuff happen to you, like stuff. Some of it might be absolutely horrible, horrendous mutations, and some of it might be just, temporary stuff that wears off. So it's much more fun, much more engaging for me personally. I like it a lot better. Yeah, also, when you create a character, you get 3 spells at first level, and when you use it once, it doesn't disappear. So that's why I like it as well. But I'm going to change the magic a little bit. So instead of having 3 spells at level 1, we're going to have 1. Because that's only if we do only have any magic characters, because currently, or at least as far as you guys know, we have Lenway, who is about to have a massive combat. They have the troops of the guard that they found previously, and they're after going back to their campsite where they were attacked by those zombies. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's going to be more fun, and you guys will see it in the video as well. So let's get into this unboxing of Morkin. I've already previously sort of opened this here, so I just marked it so it'll be easier to pull open. So now this book is going to be quite unusual, because the creator, every page in this is black. So it's black with white writing, kind of like how he done that card as well, which I think is super cool. So give me 1 second, I'm just going to throw this in the bin. So, like I said, like this, I haven't even opened this yet, so this is pretty cool. But again, yeah. Oh, I'm excited, as you can tell. So this is the Western Midnight region we'll be playing in. And yeah, so basically the premise of this game is basically this ice crown has been taken or used by someone, and you have 30 days to basically get it back or defeat whatever took it. And you are going to adventure. In each part of the day, it's split into 4, so you can do 4 different things in the day. So example, if you want to make camp at night, that takes 1/4 of your time that you can use. If you want to explore a dungeon, that takes 1/4 to explore the dungeon of your day. If you want to hunt, that takes 1/4. So those 30 days are kind of end up being a bit more spread out than you think. And this is a big book. Let's see how many pages. Oh, it feels amazing. This is just under 300 pages. Now, this is not a print-on-demand book. This is a premium book. And to my wife Teresa and my daughter Sophia, with all my love. Aw, that's lovely. This is created by Joan Diaz Busmentia. I'm terrible, I'm very sorry. But Morkin, it's so damn cool. Now we're just going to be flipping through this, and I'm going to talk a little bit about what I know already. I don't know an absolute ton. I was playing this a little bit with the PDFs when they first came out. But for me, I was really wanting to play this with the actual book, especially since I saw like what he was doing with the book. Now, when you look at the table of contents, it's basically going to have an introduction. You talks about the map. Character creation is going to be simple. When you're playing the character, you are playing Morkin. You are playing him. This is you. Now, different ways he can obviously be created, how you're going to do things. It talks about, like, here we have actions you can perform each day. It's going to take a quarter of a day to do. Exploring regions, companions you can find and get, different gear and weapons you're going to need, and how to deal with, like, fleeing combat, near death, healing, different conditions, and events. Events are interesting. These are basically things and locations in the game. There's also 60 quests within the game, and it has a nice bestiary, or bestiary, however you want to put it. And yeah, it's definitely very interesting. From what I understand as well, it just says here, as well as I was about to speak, funny enough, this is actually based off a video game which was created, I think it was in the late 70s, early 80s. And I believe it also had maybe a book series or something attached to it. So again, we're not going to read. This is not a review by any means. This is just a flip through, looking at what this book is, and talks about what you need to play. You're going to need to. This will guide you through the game. Obviously, pen and eraser, sheets of paper you're going to need. When you get this as well, the PDF, it will have different files for stuff. You will have files for your character sheet, an adventure sheet, and a map sheet as well. This is definitely an OSR type inspired game, which is great. And it talks about, like, the different times of terrain you're in, or like the icons you're going to find, different sites, special sites it has here, and they're going to be named what they are. And that is one amazing piece of artwork here. Again, each page is black and it's written in with white, or it's almost like a silvery white. It looks amazing. It feels great. Like, this is not cheap. This paper is like you can probably hear that. It's like almost card, like a light card paper. It's really great. And skills. So, animal handling, athletics, camp, defense, disarm traps, endurance, first aid, fishing, foraging, hunting, lickpocketing, might, mental toughness, melee, orientation. This for, like, you're not getting lost, perception, persuasion, and stealth. These are type of skills you're going to have, and then it has masteries. So, weapon master, shield master, scout, ranger, locksmith, animal trainer, medic, harvester, hunter, pathfinder, shadow stalker. Now, when you're creating your character, it goes through all the stuff here. We'll do a review on this eventually, but when you are doing your character, they can come out very different. So, say if you have your own character, I have my own. Maybe mine is a bit more of like a ranger type, come around to the world. But you might be more of like a sneaky thief / warrior type character, which is kind of cool. As your weather charts, it talks about the ice sphere. The ice sphere is a chilling wave of terror unleashed by Doomdark from the Ice Crown, sweeping across the land to stake fear into the hearts of men and chill their blood. As time passes, the ice sphere will grow stronger, impacting your adventure. Initially, the ice sphere is at level 1, which you can track on your adventure sheet. During the second 10-day period, it increases to level 2. Adjust your character sheet accordingly, and in the third 10-day period, it raises to level 3. It will talk a little more about exactly what it does and how it impacts you. Essentially, it's going to make things more difficult for you. Your character is going to have to, I believe, do checks to overcome this fear. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. And it gives a simple map of how things are going to work. Like we said at the beginning, your day is put out into quarters. So you can choose only one action per quarter of the day. The available actions following are: approach. Only when a recruitable character is present. You will make allies in this, and like we said, companions. Camp, only available at night, which is going to have to be one of your actions per day at the end of the day, unless something happens and you need to get out. Maybe something's chasing you, hunting you down, you need to get out. But then that's going to have conditions on you. Exhaustion, perhaps. Fishing, only at lakes. Foraging, only outdoors. Hunting, only outdoors. Resting, not available at night. So basically, you're going to sit down, relax, try and catch your breath. Maybe try and... I think you can recover some small amount of hit points from just resting. Seeking only at a site. I'm not sure what seeking is. I can't remember. And then travel is what you're going to do throughout the day. So a new day is going to start. You're going to check the weather conditions and ice sphere. And then consume a ration. Then a new quarter of the day starts. You're going to choose your action. Is it night? No. Then you're going to go another quarter of the day, choose your action, and so on. Is it night? Yes. Then you're going to consume a ration and mark a new day on your calendar. So yeah, campfire modifiers, positive and negative. Plus 10 to your camp modifier. Skill when the weather is clear. Suffer -2 when the weather conditions are heavy snow, heavy wind. However, if you succeed in an endurance check, reduce the penalty by 10. Now, we're not going to go through everything here. It has fishing charts, table, foraging charts, hunting charts, resting. Okay, yeah, you can attempt to do first aid yourself when you rest. Different things you can do outdoors. You can visit a village, a citadel, or keep, or go on the outdoors traveling. Exhaustion. If you're exhausted, current fatigue, so if you're too exhausted and your fatigue is too high, you cannot move. New hex location, terrain, what they are, how far you can travel, and exhaustion you're going to gain, and then it gives you some examples of how you're going to go about exploring and doing things, how you're going to navigate and orientation, mark down your hexes, what they are. Cover and exploration sequence. So you're basically, if you're going to a dungeon essentially, or a ruined building. And it gives like procedures for how to do all this stuff, and it's all very simple to follow. Like, he's created something that's absolutely brilliant, and it's lots of fun. It's easy to follow. I think, see, again, this looks amazing. Now, from what I understand, if you do get the drive-through version of this, it is going to be all white with black writing. From what I know, I think I actually might get a soft cover version of this as well, and maybe a hardcover. I'm not sure. Probably I'll get at least one, maybe. And I think it might be a good way I might give it to a friend to borrow and be like, hey, you know what? This is a cool RPG. If you want to learn how to play by yourself, try this out. And then maybe you want to join a game with other people, because people do find doing games very stressful. A lot of people do, because they're not sure what's happening, how cool people are going to be, if they're going to be all, assholes or stuck up their own backside or whatever, Yeah. So just checking something there. But it has events, so different events you will come across. Let's read just some here, actually. So event 9, family crying. As you travel, you may come across by the side of the road. When you travel, you come across a family by the side of the road. Their faces streaked with tears. The atmosphere is heavy with grief, and their quiet sobs are carried by the wind. Do you approach to find out what's happening? If you choose to approach, go to event 33. If you choose to pass, you will continue on your adventure, leaving the grieving family behind. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to check event 33. Just to see. Event 33. A kidnapped child. You are approached by a distraught family who inform you that their youngest son has been taken by an ice troll. They plead for your help. Their faces etched with desperation and fear. If you agree to help, you carefully examine the footprints and you find a clear trail to follow. The child is 1 hex away. Roll a d6 to determine the direction. So again, it's going to add a little more randomness. So depending where you are, you might have to go out of your way, or it might be on your way of travel. If you travel to a location, do not roll for an encounter or an event, as the ice troll will be waiting, and you will have to face him. If you successfully delete the ice troll, you rescue the child. The relieved parents reward you with 15 silver coin for your bravery and kindness. If you choose not to help, proceed to page event 73. I think we're going to have to go to event 73, guys. Let's just see. I'm invested in this now. A parting of ways. Continues from event 3 and event 33. And this is 73, so we're keeping with the theme of the trees. Maybe if this was 63 or 66, that would have been cool. Anyway, it doesn't matter. As you continue on your journey, one of your companions confronts you, expressing their discontent with your recent choices. They believe your actions have strayed from their principles or path they agreed to follow you. After a tense conversation, they decide it's time to part ways and return home. You may choose which companion leaves you. However, Farflame, the Dragon Lord, and Farkin, the Skullcrin, are unwaveringly loyal and will never abandon you. So you will always have someone with you, so that's good. So there is a lot of events, guys. Like, we're on, was it 144? Well, 114. Like, these are stuff that are going to happen. 138. Oh my god. Yeah, 153 different events. And like I said, some of them will continue in the other. Maybe you have to go into outer locations. But there's a lot of events. And then you have quests. And again, you're not going to be able to do everything. So this is great. Because, like, you're limited by time. So say if you do really badly in a battle, you need a rest. You need to recover hit points. You also need to eat still. You need to have enough food. You have to figure out what you're doing. But also in this game, you need to explore. You need to fight. You need to go into dungeons and citadels and keeps. You need to try and find gear and equipment. Because you will not defeat the evil which has taken the Ice Crown. And for what I understand, the whole idea of this Ice Crown is it's essentially the end of the world. If it's brought through. I think there's 60 quests in here. So, you know, let's have a look. Yeah, 60 quests on top of your main quest of what you're trying to do, and on top of any like random locations or stuff you come across. Bandits. So you have your hit points. You have 18 hit points. The melee is going to be 50, defense 40, defense value is going to be 20, perception is 40, and they have 1 XP. So yeah, like, this is pretty damn cool, guys. I'm going to go through the rest of it again now in a second, just have a flip through. But yeah, talk about the differences from the video game and this, a deduction about the game, what you need, the dice you're going to need. Yeah, so it's definitely, the whole thing's a D100 game, and you basically want to have 2d10s and 2d6s for most things, so it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And the bandit loot gives the type of loot they're going to have. Ooh, bandit chief, how they're different. Okay, so it's a nice decent amount of creatures, NPCs, monsters in here as well. Frostbringer, oh, the art in this is so striking. I love it. Always a good spider. Yeah, this is awesome, guys. Doomdark's troops. Oh, Doomdark's assassin. Doomdark's rider. Doomdark's scout. So the Doomdark is, I think that is a red dragon. So that is like the bad guy, essentially. He took the Ice Crown, and he's essentially trying to bring across the end of the world. This is awesome. Mountain Lion. So there is actually quite a good amount of creatures and monsters and so forth in here. It's actually more than I realized. And then we have unique opponents. Oh, so there's even more than I actually realized. Okay. Okay, guys, this is actually, I'm even more excited. Like, I did play this a little bit a while ago. I just don't remember much about it. Again, that's actually the problem I've had lately, is I am playing too much stuff, and I'm getting stuff mixed up, especially with D20 stuff. Oh my god, that happened to that happened to me more than once, even in my own games when I'm playing by myself or anything like that. Yeah, I just get like rules mixed up with different games. Different encounter tables. This is the whole section on tables. Potion table, events table. So this is what you're going to roll to find out different things. Some events and NPCs and non-player characters you encounter offering side quests can only occur once. If you roll a repeated event, simply re-roll. To determine the event, roll 2d6. Use one die to represent the 10s and the other to represent the 1s, creating a unique number between 11 and okay. But like potion tables, ruin and cavern tables, or encounter tables, exploration tables, what your stuff you're gonna find, 2d6. Basically all the tables you're going to need to play and run the game to know what's going to happen next. Snow Hall encounter, site tables. So this is basically, you know what it is. So if the site you come across is a ruin, a cavern, a Lilith, I'm not sure what that is, a Stonehenge, a Stone Hall, a henge, a village, a keep, a lake, a citadel, a tower. Special findings. And you're going to roll on the following tables. Special site tables. So different actual locations you might come across. The Tower of Doom is the Tower of Doom in the Forest of Doom. What you find where you arrive. Okay, just different. Yeah. Okay. Terrain tables. I think the terrain table should have been back a little more, but yeah, it's not a big deal. Weather table and playing on different maps. Okay, let's read this bar for a second. Sorry guys, I'm just loving this. I'm getting very excited. So after completing your quest and destroying the Ice Crown, you may wish to embark on other adventures on a different map. You have an option to create your own, you know, because we have all the hex creation stuff here, or generate a random one as you travel. If you do this, you will need a blank hex map, which can be found at the end of this book, or for download for free from the game's website. I do believe it's also on DriveThruRPG, or it will be. A starting hex at the bottom of the map, and place the Tower of the Moon there. This tower is like all sites, is situated on the plains terrain. Next, place the Tower of Doom at the opposite end of the map. Everything in between will be discovered as you progress. So this map, what we have here, is basically the official map of where you're going to come across everything, and you can use this. I do believe this is going to be a file of this you can get. I'm not 100% sure, because I do know there are some Kickstarter exclusive stuff, the digital stuff, like a PDF, not PDF, an STL of Morkin himself, which is pretty cool. Talks about playing with a GM. It can be easily adapted. Yeah, that's pretty true, like any game. And it gives you some actual locations you can play in. Okay, some areas, some actual dungeons, the Rune of Death, what you're going to find in each room. Okay, and this is the Morkin character sheet and the adventure sheet. Again, you will have PDF version of this, and it's going to be obviously a white page with black, but this is just like for the purpose to fit in with the game. Again, here is the actual map like we have here, and here's a blank one. So you can print this off. And again, I do believe the PDF version of this does have it's all white with black. So you're not going to have so you have ink left. So you'll have that, or you start with one tower here, one tower there, and just craft your whole way across. And what's this here? Oh, this is your rune and cavern sheet, basically for your dungeons, and it talks about what you're going to do in order of sequence. The entrance is what's going to be a new room. You're going to roll your dice. You're going to roll 2d6. You know, it's all here, and this is great. You can use this in any game you want as well. So all that stuff is brilliant. So yeah, guys, this is Morkin. Again, I'm gonna be playing this in the next coming weeks, and I will have a review at some stage in the future. I'm not sure when, but it will be there. So that's Morkin. So I'm very happy with that. And this, by the way, this was only on Kickstarter a handful of months ago, and the finished product is here now. And this is basically a few weeks. It's insane. The guy already had it finished. He was just had to get some finalization on editing, and then he got them printed. And he got one set printed, and they didn't print correctly. He done negotiations with the business, and they printed him a whole new lot. Which he did not need to do, because I know everyone, including myself, were talking about this, and we're like, just send it, it's fine. He's like, oh, the color isn't like 100% the way I want it. It was like 95% there or something. It's like, which I think is amazing. He wanted to do that. Obviously, he loves this, and I believe it's something he's cared about since he was a child or a young fella. So yeah, have a quick look through Shadows Camelot. We already kind of did earlier, but we'll just do it again. Like, the book in this came out really well. Again, I've noticed, I personally have never had any issue with print on demand stuff. Actually, the only thing I did have an issue with was on my Hellmarch book. I had a little bit of like material on the book which wasn't cut off fully, and like I barely noticed it, to be honest. That was it. I've had books for years, and they still are in perfect condition in terms of like spine and structure. Again, all this is very much location based. I'm in Ireland. My stuff comes from the UK. UK makes very good. In England, they make excellent books. So yeah, that's just one thing I want to say. And obviously, throughout Europe, you also do very good books, and they have a history of it. But yeah, so like we said, I do have a review of this up. You can check it out. Points of interest is going to name what they all are, and they're all going to be on the hex map. Let's go back to the hex map a little bit for a second. So they're all going to be named. So you have the Fomorian runes, you have stone stored, you have Linewent village, I think that's correct. Noxiu village as well. The Bleating Caves, yeah, Lunway village, it's all there. Everything's in here. Again, I don't know, I think maybe the paper in this is actually better quality than some of the other ones I have. I don't know. So I don't know how when it comes to printing these books, if you get to choose different paper toughness or strength, or is this the same paper they use for everything? I don't know. Maybe they've changed things recently, or maybe it's just my imagination. I don't know. It definitely feels much better, like stronger paper. Yeah, a bunch of creatures and all in here. King Arthur. 90 hit points. Ooh, boys. 21 AC. Ooh, good luck. King Richard. He was an actual king. Friar Tuck. Lord Robin Hood. I loved what William done with this. It's great stuff. But yeah, you guys, again, check out my review. I talk about things in a little more detail. Talk through the adventure, and then how like it sort of gives you like here the aftermath and some ideas you can do for continuing on the world. And it's actually very well done how he done it. And it's not a huge book. It's like a mini. It's a full setting. 82 pages of actual gaming content, and then like the first page or two on the back and the front is blank, or just like introductory sort of like legal stuff. But yeah. Again, the writing he done this was very well done. The art he got done, so I believe it's a mixture of, I know the basic excerpt done some one or two art pieces in here, so I think some of it is paid and some of it is like stuff that's out there online. Again, same with this. We done a little flip through this earlier, but do a little bit more again. Again, it has all the different locations. You talked about the different races. The Imperial, High Elf, Lizardkin, Northman, Orckin, Redlander, Wood Elf. Again, everything you're going to find in Elder Scrolls. Again, this is more Oblivion stuff, and the way they do magic is great. Enchanting, it feels the way enchanting does in Oblivion. It's actually funny, because I remember when Skyrim came out, and I was definitely a much bigger fan of how Oblivion done its way you'd level up and stuff. I actually liked it more. Different kind of potions, what effects they're going to have on you based on the ingredients. Some will be positive, some will be negative towards your stats and our starting abilities you might gain from it. Then we have a bunch of the different gods you're going to find. The Demon Princes, Prince of Rune, the Majester. I wonder who that could be. It says prologue in his mail. That's awesome. But yeah, there's lots of stuff in here. You'll have a great time playing with this as well. That is absolutely terrible. The Queen of Rot and Decay and Corruption. That's horrifying. The guy's face is being eaten by maggots. I was saying magnets. The different factions you're going to find in the game or in the setting. The Hex Crawl. The Beast, Demons, Fae, the behavior of everything. It's again a more in-depth type of encounter, behavior. I mean, so if you come across something they might be fighting, or maybe they finish fighting, or they're about to fight, so you can play that off. Maybe they're resting, they're injured. Maybe it's after coming off they were being hunted down, some creature, or after getting out of a fight. The same could be said of any NPC you come across in general. Eating or about to eat, socializing, there's talking, patrolling, walk around their camp, or actually a guard patrol, nesting, again, that could be added to resting, making camp, sort of stuff. But if it's in terms of an actual creature, they are in their nest, maybe they're after laying an egg or protecting their young. So there's different ways you can play with the same word. And again, you have your little hex map here. Talk about that in the review. And the locations based upon this hex map, which are great. Like it has the population here: Goldport, 50,000, 30% are Kakin, 25% are Imperial, 20% are Redlander, and 25% are mixed of other, of everyone else essentially. So you can sort of decide. So it gives you some great stuff in here. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Monster spells, beasts, yeah, it's all in here. Again, check the review. I go into quite a lot of detail and go over everything. Now, ShadowCity, Blood and Neon. I haven't even looked at this one yet. Well, I have looked at the PDF a little bit and I flipped through the book, but I actually don't know how it plays. This is like brand new to me, so let me take a drink here. I've been talking non-stop for a while. Let's see how long I'll be talking for. See how annoying I am. 47 minutes. Oh, great. So yeah, I'm quite annoying to myself. Yeah. Also, one thing I want to say, next week, I'm going to be talking to the creator of ACKS. So actually, before we look at that, I'm going to show you something. Never mind, I don't actually have it here. So I'll be talking to the creator of ACKS, Alex Mercaris, I think, Macaris. I'm absolutely terrible with the names. Anyone who's talked to me fucking knows. But I'll be talking to him. He's absolutely great guy. I've watched a lot of his videos, and when he talks to people, he has an amazing way of explaining complicated things to people. He's very highly intelligent, and that's an understatement in my opinion. I don't claim to be smart. I don't claim to be a genius. I like to think I'm like an average person. Okay, most people are. So don't be getting all like, oh, I'm a super. No, you're not. You're a fucking idiot. We're all idiots. Even smart people are idiots. Okay. Yeah, but they're smart. But no, they're idiots in other ways. They know lots of things about one particular thing most of the time. But Alexander, he's brilliant. I don't know how he does the things he does. Like, he will research one subject for his books that is going to be mentioned for like 10 pages or 5 pages, and he'll read like 2 or 3 books on the subject. I'm like, what the He goes into extreme lengths to figure things out, and I know I've heard him talk about. It's like, oh yeah, I'm reading this book on like foraging mushrooms or something in forests, or how farming would work in forests. He'd say that to his wife, and she's like, oh, you're working on something for work? for a book. He's like, yep, like just it comes out with random stuff. So I'm very excited for that. The creator of ACKS. So, I'll also maybe next week or the week after I'll be looking at AX3 and the Borderlands, Capital of Borderlands book as well. I was actually going to look at it in today. I had that planned to look at that, but I thought no, it'd take too long because it is a big book, and I've read through quite a bit of it. I understand a lot of it, and yeah, I haven't played with it yet, so I don't do reviews and things unless I've actually played with it in detail. I don't just like read through it a couple of times. I'm like, oh yeah, this is like, okay, I get what it is. So okay, no, I want to play it. I want to understand it better. Let me actually look at this a bit more. Immortality is no guarantee. It will not stop a blade, a bullet, a flame, or a ray of sunlight. Every second of your life, of your own life, must be taken by force. You must earn it. I almost made it. I almost made it through without fucking up. But that's what I do. And you guys are used to it. You understand. I'm a normal guy. I do not claim to be anything other than. The year is 1981. Da, 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 da. The year is 1981. The world is rapidly changing. Digital technology is revolutionizing communications. Music, fashion, and film are reaching new heights. The dark side of this boom lurks in the shadows. Crime, drugs, violence, and espionage. You are a vampire, living in those shadows, drinking the blood of mortals, and trying to survive a brave new world. Now that one came out much better than my little blurb on this. That was cool. So yeah, from what I've kind of understood about this game beforehand, from talking with Chubby and listening to some of the stuff he's done, basically it's vampires in Shadowdark, and based in the 80s to 90s. Well, it starts off in the 80s and it goes off through time. So a turn is not just a turn, because you're going to have your normal turns for like hours, for like actions. So like if you're going to like a dungeon area, that's like, it's going to be like normal time. But after a while, months will progress, and those months will progress into years, and then the decades will come along. And essentially the whole end of this is you are essentially trying to stave off people finding out about the vampires are real and the monsters are real. That's the whole point of this. And you're trying to delay that as long as possible. Which is a cool move. It's a cool idea. It talks about here about the player mindset, know thyself. I love this. He puts this in pretty much. From what I remember, he also put this in excuse me, I have hiccups. He put this in Ambition and Avarice 2. I think towards the front as well. But yeah, so overview, you're talking about level, humanity, stats, name, background, bloodline, class, and just normal sort of stuff. Feeding habits, your player character initiative habit, your player characters habits and established practices of choosing to prey and replenish their BP. That's your blood points, I believe. Again, all this is pretty much brand new to me. Again, I just flipped through it lightly there earlier. That was it. Humanity modifier runs from between -7 to +3. At first level, humanity falls at 0. When you gain a level, you will automatically lose 1 hit point of humanity unless you can articulate a reason to the GM to not reduce it. You also lose a point of humanity when you kill an innocent person. Okay, so you can deliberately play to be this just monster, or you can go and be trying to be like a Blade-like character, but Blade is obviously like half human or whatever. But you can sort of play with that idea. You have your random American name generator, which I think is cool. St. Clair. William St. Clair. Your background, where you're artist, civil servant, a tug, office worker, working in medical. Bloodlines. So each vampire is created by a sire, the cursed soul that lets you drink the vampire blood. instead of letting you pass on to the next life. So you have bestial, foreign, lunatic, radiant, monster, vagrant. So these are like your, essentially going to be like your races or ancestry in this, your bloodline. And you're going to gain different stuff depending on what it is. Like here, brute, you gain a +1 to attacks and melee damage with melee weapons when you're fighting unarmed. And disease, your blood does not destroy harmful bacteria and viruses. You remain immune to their effects, but keep them in your system. So you can basically be a human or an inhuman source of all death and illness, which is kind of cool. A stalker. Double the bonus you receive for each hour spent on hunting checks. That's pretty cool. I'm going to read one or two of these. Foreign. Your sire was from a non-Western culture such as China or India. They chose you because you shared their ethnicity or culture. You are an outsider in ShadowCity, and that is double-edged sword. You do not fit in, but you also have a unique place to call your own. Inslayer. Your ethnicity has an enclave in the city. Example, Chinatown. You speak an exotic language. You can hide out there from the authorities and easily conduct illicit trade. So this one automatically has you being a little more dodgy. Mysterious, get +2 to action rolls. Out of place. Outside your enclave, you are very memorable. Oh, memorable. Your presence tends to be noticed by authorities. You must pay 50% more for cover-up violations. Okay, so you can easily make connections within a certain area, but outside of it, you're going to be more. Okay, that's cool. It's trying to balance things out. Avatar class, you are basically a super strong guy. Okay, physically. Oh wow, 2D. Yeah, nice big chart here. I like that. Butcher class, expert class. Again, the turnaround for this was really quick as well. Like Chubby had pretty much everything done. He had the book done. I think he had to do maybe a little bit of light editing, and then he was waiting for proofs. I think that was the biggest problem, biggest delay, and it was only a couple of weeks. Medium class, shadow class. Oh, that's interesting. That looks cool. Shadow shape. Silent as a grave. Ashen shadow form. Oh wow, you can put them invisible. Assets, using assets. Now we talked about this on the interview with Chubby. Now I'm gonna link that in the top corner. You'll find it in the description as well. So assets are gonna be basically connections you're able to make or do make over the course of the game. You can use these assets to do things for you, to hide away, or if you need something done, maybe they won't be able to do it, but if you really, really need it, you can essentially, I think what Chubby called it is like burn the asset. So they'll absolutely do it for you, but that's like last thing they ever do. They never want to hear or talk to you again. So that's kind of cool. Touchstones. Basically, touchstones are a connection to the humanity. So if something happens to that touchstone, your character is going to have something negative happen. So basically, they can spend time with this person or NPC to basically kind of save themselves, from what I understand. Yeah, like here it says, when the touchstone suffers a major setback or dies from an event like normal aging, you lose 1 point of humanity. You can add a new touchstone when gaining a level. So you can have multiple of these compulsions, and basically just kind of behavior you're going to have. That's just kind of cool. Different equipment, backpack, alcohol, crowbar, cigarette lighter, flashlight, journal / paper, ski mask, wooden stakes. Illegal items. Some items are illegal to possess, such as flamethrowers, grenades, or narcotics. Other items are illegal to brandish fragrantly, such as a hunting rifle or knife. It is up to the GM to enforce laws on the city as they see fit. So maybe you decide the city you're in is, open carry is all good. or maybe you want to be somewhere where it's going to be much more strict and tight, which will bring up the tension of other stuff. Or maybe no one gives a crap. The cops don't care. Maybe all the cops are paid off. So this is definitely, when I was talking to Chubby about this stuff, it definitely had my mind kind of like, oh wow, I don't know how you came up with this, or this is an amazing idea. Bunch of different weapons in here, ammunition, armor, flesh and blood, feeding. Yeah, so feeding is something you have to do. It's basically you need to eat, essentially. Like, yeah. Again, this is my first time flipping through this. Really, I need to read through this properly. Again, this is sort of first sort of impression stuff. I'm gonna flip through a little further down. What is game mastering? Again, I like when he does this stuff in your games. It's good. Game ethos, resources, exposure, competency. Don't move the goalposts. Good idea. Don't try and change things around to make things harder or easier than they need to be. Don't prevent them from climbing fire escape to reach the roof. It's too hard. You can't make a check. Just because you want them to take the elevator instead. This is something I completely agree with. Again, he gives good examples of stuff within the game. Within his games of how to do things and what not to do. He also has a YouTube channel. I also linked up below. And he's been uploading... I think he's uploaded 2 new videos lately. It might be more by the time this comes out. But I was talking to him before, and he's going to be creating more videos, so that's pretty awesome. So you guys can check that out. Running the game, setting tone, TikTok. There is going to be risk of exposure, and then which will cause. That's one thing we talked about. So if someone finds out or sees you feeding or knows you're a vampire, you need to track them down and deal with them. Either kill them, take them out, take them away, maybe have them arrested by cops you've paid off or something. You have to do something. If not, they're going to tell someone, and then they're going to tell other people, and then before you know it, in a couple of weeks, maybe hundreds of people know or hear a rumor about you, and this is going to make the other vampires very angry, and they might deal with you even quicker. And like, this game is basically a gang war game, which is really, really interesting. Oh, cool. Yeah, the ShadowCity, you're determining your neighborhood types, what they are. 10d20, yeah. It gives you an example what they are. So 17, what's 17 here? It's a tourist. Number 3, military. Number 1, ethnic enclave. So these are basically like rough outlines of what your area is going to be like. Adding neighborhood names, point of interest, enclave posters. Now this is more like the core Shadowdark stuff. Different points of interest, what they're going to be, what's in each type of area you've rolled up. So it's just, yeah, like you can do this real quick. I know I was talking to Chubby again, and like he was explaining it to me. It's like, yeah, that's just, you just roll a handful of dice 3-4 times, and that's it. And different tasks. NPC may request the PCs. This NPCs may make a request of PCs. It's called a task. Roll 3d20 and connect the dots creatively. So what we're gonna do? Okay, so locate the thief and equipment is involved and tagged/tracked. So you need to locate a thief which has some sort of equipment, who stole some sort of equipment, maybe a car. You know, maybe it could be an ambulance with blood or something on it that you guys own, or someone you're connected with owns, and they want you to go after them. You find the what you call it, the ambulance with all the blood. Well, maybe that thief got away. Now you have to try and find that thief. That's cool. Creating the mapping sites, creating the nodes for each of the stuff. Again, he made this seem so simple, and it is. It gives you an example, and it goes down to a branch type, the node type, what's going to be in it, and you can use. We talked about it as well. You can use this for other things like creating connections to different NPCs and gangs and their relation to each other. He sort of came up with that idea when we were talking in the interview, sort of chat about the game. Bunch of rumor tables, tech timeline, which is brilliant. So if you're 18 years old, you don't know what tech they had in the year 1989, it gives you an idea what that could be. Cool, that's a great idea. Give some blood, okay, awesome. Again, if you've ever seen Blade, the movie, I don't know if it's in the comics, but if you ever seen Blade, glyphs were all over different locations. And the first movie, it was like graffitied on, and in the second one, it was all like UV paint. You'd have to use like certain goggles or a light. Airport encounters, commercial encounters, creative. Downtown, again, he does great charts for everything in here. Industrial, like it just keeps going. And this stuff is invaluable for games. So if you ever want to play other sort of modern based games, like modern reality based games, you can absolutely use these charts to come up with ideas. Obviously some of them are going to be a little less not work for certain type of games, but like, a necromancer sitting down in a night and for a night in a motel. That's a hard one to say for some reason. In a motel. We don't have like motels here, not a thing. We have hotels and hostels. So maybe a hostel is probably the closest thing to a motel. Unique opponent stats. Oh wow, these look cool. Again, this is just like first impressions and look at for me. I'm just super interested in this. And valuables, which could be stuff you find. Okay, boons, relics, artifacts. Yeah. Okay, I need to sit down and read through this properly, and then I need to actually play. It's really exciting stuff. I was super excited when I was talking to him, and I also listened to some interviews before that. It's really cool. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. So that's gonna be me. So remember, guys, I will leave links where you can find all this stuff. 2 of the books we looked at, I already had reviews, so you can check them out. I will check out ShadowCity and Morkin as soon as I can and get some games in, try and figure out like to play them. ShadowCity really has my interest peaked. But I think I'll probably play Morkin first. And remember, we're going to be using Barrows and Borderlands in God's Bit North game. Now, the next game, the current game that's coming out, it's going to be OSE stuff. But then the game after that, we'll be using this. So, yeah, that's all, guys. Again, thank you for checking this video out. As we saw, it was just look at some of the books we were having that just came. A little update on like what's going on with the channel in terms of upcoming content, interviews, different videos. So yeah, I think this went well. It was really good. I had lots of fun, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thank you, and goodbye.